Hello again, friends. Good day. Glenn here again. Welcome to episode 2. Thanks for watching my first episode about Mercy Otis Warren. I received a number of compliments in my website's comment section. If you would like to add yours, comments can be submitted in the resource section of my website. I look forward to hearing from you soon and will do my best to answer you in a timely manner. Also, if you're enjoying the content here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click notifications to be the first to know when new episodes are updated. Episode 2 is about Colonel William Crawford, a name you may or may not be familiar with. He was good friends with George Washington. As with episode 1, my goal is to keep these episodes short and to provide just enough information to whet your appetite to learn more. I will provide more resources at the end of this video to where you can learn more about Crawford. Colonel William Crawford was born in 1722 and died in 1782 at the age of 59. He's a Virginian from Westmoreland County, standing well over 6 feet tall, raised by a widowed mother, having one brother, 5 half-brothers, and 1 half-sister. At the age of 20, in 1742, he married his first wife, Anne Stewart. She died shortly after giving childbirth. In 1744, he then married Hannah Vance, and in total, he had 5 children. In 1749, George Washington, while surveying land for Lord Fairfax, met Crawford. The two men struck up a friendship. They surveyed together and fought alongside each other in a number of battles. First with the British in the French and Indian War, and then against the British in the Revolutionary War for our independence. They would remain friends for some 30 years until Crawford's death at the hands of Native American warriors deep in the Ohio country during the last days of the American Revolution. In 1755, Crawford served in the Braddock expedition. Like Washington, he barely survived this disastrous battle. During the French and Indian War, he served in Washington's Virginia Regiment, guarding the Virginia frontier against Native Americans. 3 years later, in 1758, Crawford was a member of General John Ford's army, in which they recaptured Fort Duquesne, where Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania now currently stands. After these battles, Crawford settled down on a farm in western Pennsylvania. The site of his reconstructed cabin can still be visited today. Washington visited Crawford's home in October 1770, and the two men set out by canoe down the Ohio as far as the Kanawha River, searching for the best land for Virginians who had served in the French and Indian War. After the journey, Washington and Crawford carried on a steady correspondence, but did not meet again until August of 1776. Crawford, by then, was the colonel of Virginia's 7th Regiment and joined Washington at the Battle of Long Island. Crawford went on to fight under Washington command at Trenton, Princeton, Brandywine, and Germantown. The American Revolution War ended in 1783. However, in the years before this, the settlers in colonial Pennsylvania and Ohio fought the British, and they also fought assorted Native American communities. The Native American killed settlers, and the settlers killed Native Americans. Then, in 1782, Crawford led an expedition against Native American villages along the Sandusky River in Ohio. These Native Americans and their British allies in Detroit found out about the expedition. They ambushed, defeated, and captured Crawford and his men. They tortured Crawford relentlessly until his death. Here's a monument in close proximity to where Crawford's torture took place. Now, the torture was gruesome. and is not easy to listen to. So if you're a little squeamish, you may want to fast forward a minute or so past that part. Otherwise, here's what happened. On Tuesday, June 11th, 1782, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Crawford was stripped naked. He was tied to a post about 15 feet high. Crawford's hands were bound behind his back, and the Indians beat him with sticks and their fists. They cut off both his ears. They took burning pieces of wood and applied it to his naked body. The Indian men took up their guns and shot powder into Crawford's naked body from his feet up as far as his neck. He continued in all these extremities of pain for 2 hours longer. The savages then scalped him alive. Crawford died soon after. Upon learning of Crawford's execution, Washington wrote, "It is with the greatest sorrow and concern that I have learned the tidings of Colonel Crawford's death. He was known to me as an officer of much care and prudence, brave, experienced, and active. The manner of his death was shocking to me, and I have this day communicated to the Honorable Congress such papers as I have regarding it. I lament the failure of the expedition against Sandusky, and I am particularly affected with the disastrous death of Colonel Crawford." The death of Colonel William Crawford is not only one of the most iconic episodes in the history of the colonial frontier, it is also one of those incidents in history that reveals the awful depravity of the human heart. It is a story that sometimes haunts the reader. However, on a happier note, the following year in 1783, Americans won its independence, and we should never forget the sacrifice given for this freedom. So that's it. I'm going to end it there. There's much more to learn about Crawford. Hopefully this was enough to whet your appetite to want to learn more. Please review the channel here and website where you can find out more information. And also watch my trailer for episode 3. Until then, remember, educate, motivate, and take part in preserving our great republic. Good day.